Is it working? We're back. Hello. Ahem. So um, it's been a while since last time I've streamed, and I'm honestly not sure if anyone's going to be watching this, but yeah. Last time it was mostly I was streaming collabs, and I've never really streamed a main series before, but here we go. Here we are, and yeah, the progress has been pretty slow, although it's been fast. The past few days, but yeah, there's a lot of missing parts and holes yet I have to finish for episode 6. I am not gonna click on any of these parts because that's a bit, some of these spoiled the story a bit. So for now, uh, I'm gonna try and do some blocking and storyboarding for the intro of the episode. I am assuming that the intro will be around a minute or 2 minutes long, and I'm hoping it's less than that, because as much as I said last time that I wasn't gonna skimp on intros and the non-music video parts, it's still pretty. I'm not as excited to animate these parts because they contain a lot of character animation, and they don't really have that many action pieces that most people would get excited about, and character animation is like very difficult to do correctly and make it look good. So yeah, for there's not really any spoilers here. Everything that you see in the intro is just there to set up future the future fight in this MV, which is pretty much in the trailer already, so there's no spoiling anything. So yeah. Uh, yeah. Try do some blocking. We left off at like episode 5. And fell was like here, right? So. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Whoops. Some background music, because I don't want this to be too silent. Hopefully it's not super loud. It's probably super quiet. I'm not sure if anyone can hear this. Wait, I'm just gonna check. Hopefully it's fine. Is this fine? Checking. Please be right. Oh. Oh, this is the media on in OBS. It's not. No wonder. Oh, I hope that wasn't too loud. Let's lower the volume a bit. Oh. Oh, I hope I'm lagging. Is the BGM still too loud? I think this is fine. Hopefully. I'll just have to see the VODs later on to see if it's terrible or not. It's been a while since I've done any streaming, and I'm not particularly good at it when I did it a lot. So, okay, that's enough for the setup. Hopefully it's fine. We're gonna do some more blocking, or I should probably try some actual animation. Should I do blocking or should I continue with the rooms and episode 6 here? Oh, look at these impact frames. It's so whoa, spoilers. And what I think spoilers is fine, honestly. There's not many people are gonna watch this anyways, and the people who do won't remember much. So I think animating some spoilers isn't the biggest deal. So yeah, I guess we'll try to animate the main scene from episode 6 now instead of the plan I had. So anyone watching the stream, hello, welcome. So our current plan for this scene is to animate fog effects and some things. Wait, let's just remove this. This is what the actual scene looks like. So we're gonna do some layers of fog and add some volume to the scene because the ground does feel a bit empty, and there's also some perspective problems here. So we need to cover up that wonkiness with some deceptive fog. So we're gonna change our colors to this. We don't want it to blend too much with the background, especially the floor. So we're gonna have to go with a lighter color. So first we're gonna have to go with the most foreground fog effects. We're gonna start basically from the foreground, and then we're gonna work our way through until the background fog. So first off, we're gonna have to do a lot of frames for this. I think this is fine. So we need to do some blocking of what this scene would look like with fog. So I think this We're gonna add some fog here in the end and in the background. And if we add all these fog, hopefully it looks good. So we lower the opacity. And we do some layer filters to blur them. I think I made the opacity too low. It's around 20, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it could work, yeah. We don't need to go too heavy. Or actually, I think we can, just not on the foreground. We just need to cover the background because we need some field of this, some like effect for distance. And the way this is built is that it doesn't really seem... It looks like the wall is being cut off, so that's not a good look for a wall. Yeah. Yeah, the lighting is pretty good. I quite like it. It's actually a lot more cleaner than my latest video that I put out in the April animation challenge, because that one I really didn't take into account like how the lighting would work, because you could actually see in my April animation challenge, in my last video, you could see like when certain scenes were made. Like in the first half of the scene, a lot of the colors were desaturated, and like I used a lot of like mid-tones for it, so the colors blended a lot and they were like really dark. Whereas in the later half of the animation, I basically took and like searched some inspirations and decided to like actually directly copy the color palette of cyberpunk references, of cyberpunk cities, and the lighting was like vastly different from mine and it was like super saturated. Luckily for this episode, I actually managed to like get the lighting a bit right, so I didn't have to like redo everything. So, and I think part of it can be given thanks to this character sheets that I've made beforehand. So, although the lighting, I did change the lighting a bit. This was the initial lighting for episode 6. And I changed the remaining scenes to be darker and more apparent. And I think it works more to the benefit of how striking the animation will look. Especially given how simple the background is still. So for the foreground, I don't think we have to do much for how how do we do the fog here? I think we can go like this, cause there's a missing shading spot there. Cause I think cause we need an effect where Fel goes through like these fog and breaks through them, so we're gonna have to do some big puffs. So this is the initial fog. We're gonna have to set it to be solid block here. We're gonna change this and make it more detailed afterwards, but this is the general shape we're gonna use. Alright, so that once okay, actually we need to showcase these scenes. We don't want to wait to have these special effects wasted, so yeah, we're gonna have the fog breakthrough here. This fog is going to be transparent still because I don't want to cover the whole scene. I really like the impact frames and the heavy shading in this scene, because the shade here is darker than the usual scene afterwards. So, and I like that, even if it's like not as visible. So I don't want to hide that. So we're gonna make this transparent eventually, anyways. So the problem with that is that we don't get a cleaner look for the animation. Hopefully, we'll change that soon, depending on how the overall scene will look. So it's gonna look like this, where he breaks through the fog. Something like this. Although that does not look as good. The fog should shrink, so we're gonna have to do some of this. It has to like do like this wave pattern, I know, when it shrinks, so the top goes away faster than the bottom, because the bottom is usually the heavier parts of the fog. So we're gonna do this. Hopefully it's right. Because this is the initial idea with this particular scene, is that it was going to be a still frame. Where it's just this pose and maybe some moving effects, like the blood, like the color, the black blood in this one, and the effects for Fell, like the star effects. So that was the only initial idea, but I didn't want it to be too static, and so I decided to at least do some frames of motion for Fell. And I think it looks nice, especially with the hair. Both of these hair is great. Honestly, it's probably the best addition I've had in the Room series, is just adding hair. Because it does the work of adding the what would you call it? Like the illusion of detail when there's not that many detail in these characters being stick figures. So the hair does a lot to add some detail. So we're gonna do some easing here. Hopefully it's a bit too quick. We're gonna change that. Oh no, it looks bad. So we're gonna have to move some of the fog up, because if it shrinks like this, it just looks off. Oh no, I forgot how fog works, or how smoke works. No. How do we do this? We're gonna do some general blocking, I guess, before we do the actual fog. So I know it works. Oh wait, I have a reference actually. It's in the same project file here. I have an exact reference for this. And it's this scene. This is the exact same thing that I'm trying to do. Yeah, so for this scene, I did the fog went like this, and then so the bottom moved first, not the top. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna try to mimic that. Oh, whoops. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Not this. Oh, that's the same thing. Not this one. No. I'm spoiling a lot. I'm showing every single part of the animation though. Or is it? Where are you? Oh, here you are. Okay, so yeah. We're gonna do it like this. It's gonna be bottom first, whereas the top will disperse into thin air. Like this. So we're gonna do some big movements. Maybe a bit of this here. That's fine, yeah. And then oh man, I want to play video games, man. Because there's actually a few video games that I wanted to play for the past bit. One of them was another new gacha game that just released, and it's called Honkai Star Rail, and it's a turn-based game, and I do like turn-based games. It used to be one of my old favorite types of genre. Sadly, for some reason, I haven't been playing. I haven't played it like at all, so I've been holding off on that game. And the other one that I wanted to play is, I mean, it's pretty big right now. It's the new Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom. Man, I want to play that game, man. I loved the original Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was like super fun. And I think this one is. So I've been trying to avoid all the spoilers in YouTube. And I've also watched some streamers. I didn't watch some streamers. I saw them playing it, but I didn't want to spoil myself, so I had to hold off on that. And I don't think I can play it anytime soon, at least until my finals are done for this month. So yeah, it looks super fun too, because they add like this whole new mechanic of like this like building simulator where you can like build stuff, and it seems fun. I want to try it. And the graphics, they look great. I'm not sure if they used the same graphics as like was it 2016 or 2017, something like that. The Breath of the Wild, but even then, Breath of the Wild looked great when it came out, and even now, it still looks good graphically. In my opinion, at least. So yeah. Yeah, I think it looks fine. We're gonna have to slow this one down though, so that it's still visible in the screen. We don't want it to go too far, or else there won't be any point to animating all these smoke effects off screen. Wee. Oh yeah, I've also been trying to do some progress on like the animation tutorial that I posted a while back. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it within this month. Because as much as I want to make an animation tutorial, I don't want to like make it too on the whim or like too low production. Because I want to try and make like a good animation tutorial that that's like that's like not even like in a stick figure fandom can watch or something and learn from. Because while I don't think what was so good? The what? Oh, the fog? I think the fog is fine. It's a bit too slow. We're gonna smooth that out anyways. This is just the general. This is too thin though. Is it fine? We're gonna make it bottom heavy eventually. This is a problem with slow motion scenes, or like these types of scenes, because they're always some of the easiest but also some of the most tedious like types of animation to do, because they're kind of easy in the way that like most of the particles and like motions you have to do is like one after the other, and then you just draw one after the other. It's like slow increments of animation, but there's like so many you have to do, and you have to be on model as well, because unlike action scenes, your characters don't really like move fast, so you don't really have a chance to like hide the off models or like weird drawings that you have. But yeah, like back to the yeah, Like about like the tutorial thing that I have. I actually have a way to talk about it, and I was planning on making like a structure, like a video game of like levels of and no, to upgrade your animation styles and techniques and stuff. Because while I don't think that like I'm like a good animator yet, I think I'm decent enough. But I do think I can like help maybe some people to like learn some like animation things that they might not notice, they might know of, but like haven't gotten the click of yet. And especially with the basics, I think, because I think the basics really are important. Because I've seen people, because also funny thing is I've been checking I back on like the my animation, my actual channel, the Isle of Melons channel, and I've been checking on the smaller other YouTube channels and their animations, and man, I still remember the how beginners still use like the Yutaka Nakamura animation styles to do some Sakuga. It's not necessarily bad, but it is funny to try, and I'm seeing people try it. Just because of how, I guess, overblown it is. But I'm not sure how famous the Yutaka Nakamura style of animation is nowadays. Because, especially like the rise of like Ufotable's animation. And Studio Bones hasn't really... Well, I mean, they did release Mob Psycho Season 3, so I guess that's something that's big. But even then, I think the hype for Mob Psycho wasn't as big as like I think Chainsaw Man when it came at the same time. So yeah, I'm not sure how big Yutaka Nakamura style is today. Especially with impact frames. A lot of people really do like to use the impact frames. I mean, I have one here. But yeah. I don't want to clutter the impact frames too much, because this is just meant to be like a quick pass. So it's like this. We're gonna change this and blur it. Oh, we're gonna use this and lower the opacity. Yeah. Does this work? It's a bit much, or is it not? You can add blur, and we don't want to go overboard with it. Just enough. It's a bit too invisible. Up it to like 30. What's an anime that I've been watching lately? I think the only anime I've been watching, like been catching up, that I like actively follow is still Demon Slayer. And really, the only reason why I do follow Demon Slayer is because of animation. Cause yeah, I think one of my bigger inspirations for animation is Ufotable, and I want to try to mimic their style of animation as much as I can. But I don't think I'm at that level yet to go go anywhere near that. Ooh, it does. I'm not sure how good this looks, but we could go solid, and then as the scene goes further, it's gonna go more invisible, or like lower the opacity. But we'll change that soon after, because we'll try to layer it with more smoke. Where can we add smoke? Wait. Oh, it's the same frame. Wait, I forgot to remove this. This is an extra frame. Remove. Boop. Because this is one thing that's good with Adobe Animate that I like compared to other animation apps. Even though I have so many gripes about Adobe Animate, especially with how many times it crashes and corrupts my files, is that you have these symbols which are basically like their own separate. They have their own separate timeline, and it's so useful for creating extra animations and tweening them and like organizing your frames. Because I have 3 here, and it takes up 1 in this main timeline. There's this as well, which has 2 different layers. And then there's this for Azure, his own layer, where it has these multiple ones. And then you have some extra ones. I think I haven't categorized these ones yet. I probably should eventually when I don't run out of time of space and layers. But for now, we'll focus on our the middle fog here. How do I do this? Yeah. The middle of our fog should be in front of Azure. So we're gonna lower these 2 back. But also behind some of the character, this blood thing or parts. Wait, this is Azure. Okay, we're 1 layer lower. Right here. So we do more slow fog. Is that okay? Should we have gone bright in the first layer? How do we do this? This is difficult because this is probably why you should properly storyboard your animations first. Because I did storyboard, but I didn't storyboard the fog. I didn't take that into account, so hopefully that won't be too much. I guess for this stream, I'll only be streaming until we finish the fog effects for this. Because I won't be streaming for long. I still have class tomorrow. And I don't want to. And I've already been animating for the whole day, so and most of the animation today was spent on Fel here and his effects. So we're gonna do some subtle movements here first, and then some major movements once Fel goes into frame. Because I guess one of the tricks to making your animations kind of look good is to just add like a lot of detail. That's one thing I pretty much learned and based a lot of episode 6 on, and it's a lot of detail. And you'll probably see it from this from like all these particle effects that you'll see throughout the episode. Because as much as I love episode 4, I think was like the first major battle in the room series. As much as I like that, since it's like my biggest upgrade for animation, the biggest problem I had with that particular one was that I used OBS back then to record the animation instead of like properly exporting it, and so OBS would lag if I recorded like a lot of detail and a lot of what do you call this, like filters that for Adobe, because Adobe has to process all of that. so it lags your OBS a lot if you record, even if you don't actually use OBS. And so because of that, I was very limited with my effects, and I was like being very sparing with it, so I didn't really use a lot of it, which ended up backfiring because when I was making episode 4, I actually discovered how to export animations properly, but it was already too late because I already posted the video and it was already a while when I realized that I really could have used more effects instead, since when you export it just turns it into a PNG and it doesn't have to like process all these glowing effects, all these blurs and stuff. So yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie. Luckily for this one, we can just go all out on the effects this time. Though I'm not gonna go too much, because I actually didn't expect episode 6 to take this much time to make. Because initially, my plan was that episodes 5 would be like a major animation, and then episode 6 would be like a small break, where it's mostly gonna be like a one-sided battle between this blue dude and then this green dude. And that's it. Because here, in the character sheets, you can actually see my initial plans here was that it was just gonna be like a simple stick figure still. It retains the previous episode art style. But as I kept drawing, I kind of realized that I could do with more detail. And so I added these hair for mainly Azure, and then eventually I added some to Fell, because there wasn't as much movement as I was hoping when I checked when I first exported it to check it out, and so that was a bit disappointing. And so yeah, that's why I added these hair, and I think it looks good. It just now takes way more time to animate this, to animate all of this, and yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Oh, I need some coffee, man. It's currently 1 o'clock in the morning, so it was also very difficult to find time to animate. Or not, to find time to stream is what I mean, because this room has a lot of people in it now, constantly, and my brother, my younger brother, currently has his break. We should probably change this. We will move this upwards, because my brother has his summer break right now, which means that he's practically playing video games all day here, which is not good for me, because that means I can't really stream as much as I want to while he's around. And lately, my brother's PC was fixed, and we're all in the same room here. We all work at the same room. So while my brother sleeps, my younger brother sleeps, my older brother then takes over. And yeah, it's just becomes an amalgamation of mess where I can't really find time to stream. So it was a bit difficult. Also, I didn't have any ideas of what to stream. Regardless. But for now, I'm not really planning on anything big. I'm just trying to do some chill animation, well, talking about animation stuff or any other forms of fiction. I also want to stream video games anyways. I've always been saying this, I think. But I've always wanted to stream video games. Because that's one of the reasons why I don't feel like I can play them. It's because I feel guilty that I'm not being productive. As opposed to, if I was streaming them, then maybe I could be productive. Because technically, I'd be making content for like a YouTube chat for my YouTube channel. Even though that's like far from my thing, which is animation. But you know, it's close enough. I'll probably try and be quiet for a bit and just draw. But yeah, I'll stay quiet. Whew. There's not really much to do because it's all fog, so. All we need to do is to add these to extend them. Whoops. I think that's and to make it smoother, we're just gonna add some frames in between. So there's that, and there's this. Oh no, it looks ugly. The front one looks ugly. I don't think we should blur it as much, I think. Should we not blur this? Wait, what? Okay, there we go. Blur will be set to around 10. It's a light blur. No, that was the wrong option. No. Freeze, shift. There we go. So we have that. And now we have this. If it's a bit much, we'll probably reduce the color for the frontmost. We don't want it to take too much of the spotlight. Because I think we have to remove this quickly. So we'll remove this top by cutting it off the bottom and then reducing it into like a bits of smoke, so that's not as distracting, because we want the view to be mainly on Fell and also on Azure, these two, so it basically goes diagonal. And this piece is a bit distracting, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna shape this to go around like this direction. So we're gonna change that. This is the problem. Oh no, we just did all. Oh wait, my handle got sticky from all the coffee. Oh, where'd my alcohol go? It's not here. Okay. Oh well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, we'll be removing all this. Also, there's been a lot of good anime openings lately. A few of them could probably be have like the potential to be in my top 10 favorites. I think some of those would probably be like the Vinland Saga second opening for second season, Paradox. But the one with probably the most potential is Oshinoko's opening, Idol by Yoasobi. Because I mean, it's Yoasobi, and I already love their songs even without anime opening monikers or reputation. So okay, this is wrong. We really have to change this, I think. Yeah, so for this, we're gonna make the top move faster than the bottom in this one, I guess. Something like this. Because we have to make it diagonal so that it can have some proper staging. Maybe like this. Oh, that's a bit much. So one way we can do it is to actually extend this and make it like this. Make a new one. And then that's when we can go bottom heavy in this part. Or we can go like a wave. Yeah. We can do that. Where the top will lead the bottom part. And this part won't move as much. Which works in our favor because of this. And then we're gonna make this bigger so it doesn't look as unnatural. Please, come on. Because if the top gets removed a lot, it's gonna look weird, so. Yeah, the sudden stop here is a bit weird. And I think the problem is that we made these two too close to each other, which makes this movement strange because it's not how easing works. So I guess we're gonna have to change this to be directly in the middle of the next frame. So it has to be completely in between these. Because we still have to convey that it's speeding. Because if it goes slow and goes fast again, then that's just unnatural and looks bad. Like this, so. Yeah, that looks fine. We still need to tweak it, but I think that's fine for now. Because our next problem would be this frame. Where this top one looks like it hits a wall and it immediately stops. So we don't want that to have to look like that. But that's a problem for future me. like this. I hope it looks good. I guess the biggest problem with this scene is that it has the potential to look either really good or really bad. Because it could also look very cluttered. It already does. But we still, that's why we have to order all these fog and make it super transparent after this. Because if we don't, then yeah, it's just a messy blob of mess, and I don't like that. It looks ugly a bit, actually. So we're gonna make these very transparent after. Because I guess another thing that I've learned is that sometimes when you make effects, you don't making them almost invisible, especially to like the regular viewer, is just as important as making like the most visible effects. So what that means is like if you make like a slight fog effect on a background or foreground, it's best if that fog barely looks visible to the viewer but still gives off a slight effect. Even if nobody will notice it, it's still there and it's like subconsciously affecting the whole scene. So it doesn't have to be in your face. And if even if nobody's gonna kind of comment on it or appreciate it, it's gonna deliver on the overall presentation, which is, I think, very important for the piece. Next up, we're gonna do that. I think a good part about this in the final is that I don't think we have to necessarily do a lot of new frames for the background fog. But we probably, because it's gonna be covered. But I'm not sure. We probably will. We'll see. So for this scene, which I think is fine, but we'll have to make it smoother now before we make it transparent. So this, we're gonna do some in-betweens to make it smoother. And we're probably gonna make extend them to animate on twos. Remove all that. Just zoom in because it's easier to zoom in because you can be more careless when it comes to in-betweening. Yeah. I'm not sure how the audio side is going on the stream, but hopefully it's not like complete shit. Because I'm not gonna see it until this stream is over. Which is also part of why I wanted to stream more, because if I keep streaming, I'll be more experienced with it. And I'll be used to a lot of the technical aspects. But since it's been a while, I've pretty much forgotten everything there is to do in streaming. Also, one of the reasons why I'm not currently doing any like major key animations or action blocking or rough animations is because if I'm live and I try to do that, it does get a bit distracting, so I'm not able to like make the best key animation there I can. So I guess doing these like mundane effects is fine. What is happening here? Oh. Okay. Change the colors. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm just chilling and doing some stuff. Oh man, it's so tiring doing these effects. Cause if I make this transparent, nobody will see this. Like actually, nobody will. Cause it's gonna be very, very transparent. But that's just a sacrifice we have to do as animators, man. Wee. Oh. Whoops. Oh, that something's wrong with that one. Wee. I think I've run out of topics. I've just to talk about. So I'll just be silent, I guess. We'll just do these on 2 so that we don't have to draw these extra frames because I'm too lazy. And yeah, that's smooth enough. That's nice. It's not distracting enough now. Yeah. And now, for the sad part, we're gonna have to make this transparent now so that nobody will see this. Please, Adobe. Okay. Let's see how transparent we'll make this. 7%? Oh, that's so... I can't see it. I can't. No, that's too much. 12%? 12? That's way too transparent. There's a limit to how invisible these things can be. Let's go, I think 15 would be the good middle ground. Like this. Oh, that's so visible. Let's change that as well. Let's go with like 30. No. 20. I think that's a bit much still, I think. Something like this. Does this work? Because it's very invisible, but I'm not sure how impactful this would be. This is a tough dilemma I'm having. I don't know how to do this, man. Cause you just have to add the camera shake as well. So yeah, we have that. What other parts do we have to improve on? We'll touch on this later. I think we're fine with the fog. We're gonna add like one more here around this area, and maybe one more in here. And after that, we can add like some background fog that we don't have to add new animation for. We can just tween it, because the background doesn't really need to move, because that's already distracting, and all these particles are already distracting enough. We don't need the background to distract the viewers even more, because that's gonna be a major pain in the eye. So we have these scenes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add some background effects. What software do I use? I currently use Adobe Animate. It's sadly a paid app, but you you can get some access into you can get some sort of access to it. Wink, wink. No, I'm not doing that. Wink, wink. Though I think if you want a free animation app for PC, you could try Toon Boom. No, not Toon Boom. That's paid as well. That Open Tunes, yeah. Because Open Tunes works well for animation. I'm just not used to it. Because though I think Open Tunes is not that beginner friendly, I guess, in its UI. Though in mobile, I don't think I have a complete animation app yet. I did use Flip a Clip once, so there's that. But not much. So for this scene, I think we're gonna go subtle, because we don't want it to be too distracting. Because I think, yeah, this is because we're gonna try to mimic this background, but not as intense. So we're just gonna do some smaller colors, because while this scene kind of is neat still with just a character animation, we could do more with background details, but we don't want it to be too distracting. So I think we can divide it into two, where there's like the zoom out and then the zoom in. So it's like around here. I think. Oh yeah, another good animation app, I guess, could be Krita. Though I haven't really tried that out. That's also free. I don't use Krita for animation, but I do use Krita for my illustrations. Because I mean, I can't pay for Clip Studio, especially since Clip Studio recently became a monthly subscription. Though on the good side, at least that's optional. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Do we want to go like this clean circle route, or we have to go all messy like this? Because I think we have to go more subtle, I guess. We don't want to be too distracting, because this is the center of the animation. Wait, I think we have some wind effects as well. Let's get that. Wait, we have some wind here around my library. Right here. Ta-da! Because I have these that I made for previous scenes. It's like this wind effect, the anime wind effect here. So we can add that to this scene, and then just move it around accordingly, like this. I don't think it's super visible, but that's fine. For this scene, we're gonna have to go like this. And as it zooms out, you have to go smaller when it zooms out. Like this. But wider. Something like this, I guess, works. this, and then yeah. Oh, whoops! I'm spoiling too much. Okay, so this is the two sections of the background that we're gonna do. We're basically just gonna do a loop since it's like that. Hopefully it's less than 5 frames. Because the way I do loop, especially for backgrounds, is that I do like the first frame. And once I'm like done with the first frame, I do the like two or three more. I just copy this first frame and then move it to like the last part so that I can like in between them, so that it perfectly loops, at least as perfect as I can get it, to not look jarring, or like to not make it obvious that it's a loop. So we're like gonna use these few elements, and we're gonna move them around like this. Oh yeah, for the few animation ideas I have, once this episode is done, I'm still unsure on what I'll do next. Because there's a few things I want to do. Either like related to the Hyun's Dojo community, or maybe another Arknights related animation for the because I'm fairly certain that a few hundred people that are still subscribed to me for some reason came from the Arknights video. So I'm not sure if they're still subscribed for me for my animation or if they just forgot to unsubscribe. Because I haven't done an Arknights related animation for in a while. Like a really long while. In fact, I've only done one animation for it. So I'm not sure how that will hold up. Because while I don't want to like make Arknight centered content, I don't want to disappoint the people who subscribe for that one Arknights video I made. So yeah, for this, now all we have to do to loop it is that we're gonna do the previous shot for these green frames. We're gonna let go one back, and then we're gonna go one forward for the blue ones. Come on. Like this. I think let's pick the character transparent first so that we can actually see what we're working with. And then we go to the front now. To the first, this is our first frame, by the way. We just moved it. So we move these. We also copy these, yeah. So that, like that. And then we actually take it back to the first frame so that it's all equal now. And we have our loop now, basically. It doesn't look as smooth, probably because Adobe Animate's lagging. It can't handle this much processing. But hopefully it's good enough. Yeah, we don't want all these colors to be super striking, or like we don't want them to be that different from the background, so we're gonna go slightly darker, just slightly, so that we can see some contrast, I think. Yeah. And I think it's way too steep. We went a bit too steep, so we're gonna twist this like this, I think. Like that. Maybe? I think so. No, slightly more. Like this. Yeah. And now we're just gonna copy and paste, and then last one. And then we're just gonna extend this one. Then we add like the camera to add something, and then now it looks slightly more active. Not still, they're still gonna add more, I think, especially for the lines for Azure. I'm going to be adding like a bit more effects, I guess, here in this frame layer. We can actually go ahead and make this, copy it, and make a new symbol for Azure rolling thing. We're gonna put that, and we're now in our separate frame where we can do whatever. So our extra frame, our extra layers where we don't need to like worry about the whole thing being messy. Oh, okay, this is gonna be a bit tiring, but we're gonna do it anyways. So what I'm planning now is I'm going to draw some lines that's gonna act like this to add some direction to all the rolling and action. I don't know what to call this thing. So we're gonna, this is going to be a bit tiring, so we better properly stretch for this. Okay, let's go. We don't want this to be too dark. Do that. Change it a bit. Just slightly. And then lower our stroke. Now we can add like these subtle lines one by one. Because doing it one by one helps you be more consistent with where the lines are located at. And it's still tedious, but at the very least, it might look good. If it doesn't look good, we'll just delete the entire thing, the entire layer, which is a waste of time, but that's, you know, for the greater good of the animation. We're gonna add here. Oh, this is 3 frames. To add one here. Yeah. One thing I'm worried about in the future is that I'm currently in college, so, but the silver lining to this and this whole thing is that the college is still like putting in a mixed education with like online and face-to-face classes. And the sad part is that since the semester's coming to a close soon, I'm worried that next semester they might put us in like a complete face-to-face class, which will ruin my schedule for animation like incredibly badly. Because when the teachers are like a bit too lazy to go to class in face to face and then just go online, that's probably like always the best case scenario. Because it doesn't mean I have to go all the way to school, which is like to university and it's like super far away. And I have to spend all my entire day there where I can't use my PC. So I have to do everything as much as possible before that moment arrives. Like this. It's a bit too far. No, change that. This. Whee. Yeah, it changes a bit too much, so that I'm not sure how good it looks. So we're gonna add like 3 more that are gonna be consistent in like a single area. So we're gonna go here since it's like the middle point of the entire action. We're not gonna move our mouse like at all from this spot. Maybe we're gonna shift it a bit. Oh no, it's like super far. Oh, my hands are already hurting. Because with these strokes, I have to use my wrists and not my entire arm. So that's fine. We can check and we just have to replace all this now. Oh no, we don't have to. No, we don't. Not yet, because we still have to align this properly. Okay, so we add this now. And we have to make sure that these two are aligned. Oh. Come on, Adobe, please save. Okay. Yeah, they're both close enough. So we remove this bottom layer now. Oh, we have this whole new thing. And we actually move this lower. Checking. Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's there. Maybe I'll keep going. How long have you been doing this for? A little over an hour. Honestly, I'll be streaming for like maybe 7 minutes more. I want to stream for like at least an hour longer, but yeah, I have to sleep because I still have classes tomorrow. So I might end this a bit earlier than I want to. but we've gotten some few things done. It's not a lot, but we did something. Like the smoke effects here. And the effects here. And we really, this is actually pretty slow progress, yeah. But you know, it's fine. By this week, if university isn't being too pushy, I'm planning on finishing around the final chorus now, because this is the final chorus around this area, and I'm planning on finishing at least a section of this, because I don't think there's too many difficult scenes to finish. There's actually a few running scenes, so I think I'll just make like 3 or 4 different running cycles and then use those for this. So hopefully by this week, the plan is that I'll be able to finish this final chorus. By next week is final exam. No, next week is going to be my finals, so I won't be able to animate much. But after that, I think we are gonna having a break after that, so actually I'll be able to use all that time to actually finish up everything and do the intro, because the original plan for the stream was to do the intro, and this is our progress. This is the progress for the intro. This is a minute. You have to make the intro a minute long, so that it sucks, man. It sucks. I don't want to do the intro. I don't. I like character animation, but man, is it difficult to make. Anyways, I think that's all. I'll be wrapping up now. So the people who came by, thank you. Hopefully nobody watches the VODs, cause the VODs aren't that good. You're gonna see a lot of my mistakes. I don't like talking for this long. So yeah, that's all. That's a 4 letter. That's a 4 E. Let's go. Goodbye. Wait. I'm waving goodbye. I'm smiling, but I'm actually dead inside. So like goodbye. Bye bye.